Shalom, brothers. Brother Kamal Mahar here, back at it again. First things first, we give all praise to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, qadash. Double honors, apostles, and elders on the truth from GMS. Blessings to the Akim out there preaching his word with whole heart, true sincerity. Blessings to 144,000 and 1/3. The first fruits kingdom of heaven, house of David, the B'yafdah. And shalom to you brothers that are looking in different tongues. Speaking in different tongues and looking in different nations. Our brothers just learned that confusion of faces brothers are not Israelites who look in different nations. It just means shamefaced. So that was corrected. I seen the scriptures in Daniel 9:8. I seen that, and also in another verse as well. So that's been corrected. So shalom to you brothers that's Israelites that's speaking in different tongues and looking in different nations. Shalom, brothers. So today I wanted to get in a topic that I haven't really got in before. Just got edified and learned the knowledge, so I'm gonna get into it. I knew this was going to happen, but never put a video up. I wanted to put it on that when the Israelites will get in their rule, the other nations will be subjected unto us, and they will follow the law, statute, and commandments, or else. Once Yahawashi is on the scene, when Yahawah is going to send Yahawashi and place him in his kingdom, there's going to be Yahawashi and all the men of the Lord on down, 144,000 and on down. The whole world will be subjected to the law, statute, commandments. They're going to be coming to the mountains and whatever it is, feast days, Day of Atonement, however things go, in order to survive out here in this particular world. Once the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians of the elect, once they're out on the scene rolling with a rod of iron, all the other nations will be subjected unto the laws of Yahawah, Yahawashi. There ain't going to be no Buddhism. There's not going to be no Muhammad or Islam. There's not going to be, Scientology or Jehovah wickedness, or any type of atheisms and things of that nature. There's not going to be any other doctrine outside of Yahawah, Yahawashi, and the statutes and commandments of what Yahawah, Yahawashi stands for and what they're going to put out there. Because as a man of the Lord willing, I'm one of those men. I could be a judge and be able to judge the other nations along with Israel as well. I guess going into that, I guess I could start with Isaiah 60, and I'll probably piggyback back on here. It says, okay, so actually Isaiah 60 is pretty substantial by itself, because it goes into the actual building up our walls and things of that nature, and the gates will be open continually. So let me start at 11 and I'll correlate with it. Isaiah 60 and 11, therefore thy gates shall be open continually, and they shall not be shut day or night. The men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and their kings may be brought. Now that's talking about in the kingdom, because it says in 10, where the sons of the stranger shall build up thy walls, and their king shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I shall smite thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. So they're also going to minister unto us as well. This is what I'm actually going into. That's the spirit, because I was actually going into this video. They're going to actually have to minister unto us now, because we got to minister unto them. We had to pay their taxes. We got to do their Jesus Christ's. Well, Jake that don't understand the real truth got to, they got to do their government laws and things of that nature. We got to minister unto them. So in our kingdom, they're going to give us all their riches. They're going to build up our walls just like we did to them, because it's payback. That's how it's going to happen. And they're going to be subjected unto what we say and what God we have and what we offer and what we're going to do. And this is the reason why, if we don't want to. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted. And that's the whole point of this whole video that I'm going into. Once the Israelites is on the scene and they're in rule, if you don't want to obey and get down with Yahawah, Yahawashi along with his men, then, it's going to be a real bad scene for you. And so, what is that? And just to get into what my last video was into, you know what I mean? So basically whatever Yahawashi is all about, via Yahawah, what is he's all about, we're going to be all about, because we're going to be just like him. So I like how the brother will come into, we're going to be many gods on the earth. or many most highs. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be many most highs with great power. So with that rod of iron is what that's going into. We're going to be powerful as all hell, and there's nothing they can do but to listen. So it's basically, if you want to speak in the carnal sense, it's just as simple as a guy with a gun in his hand saying, give me your money right now. And if you're wise and smart, you're going to give him his money, and that's it. And that's just what you're going to have to do in order to survive. Because if you don't give the money up, for the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted. That's I will use the scriptures as a metaphor to the carnal way I just spoke of, but the scripture will be exactly how it's going to be in the same terms I was just using. You're going to be utterly destroyed and killed if you don't follow the ways of Yahawah, Yahawashi, along with the men on down, because we won't be judges as well, heirs to the throne. Lord willing, I'm one of those men and brothers out there that's actually preaching his word with whole heart, true sincerity, and doing the work. I wanted to get in... let me go to Micah 4, and the same is also in Isaiah the 2nd. We go to Micah 4. I believe it's, let me see. Okay, so, but in the Micah 4 and 1, and I'll go down to 2, maybe in 3 as well. It says, but in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Lord Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and the people shall flow unto it. And many nations shall come and say, come and let us go up to the mountain of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, and to the house of God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and will walk in his paths. For the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi from Jerusalem. And he shall judge among many people, and rebuke strong nations afar off. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Because in our kingdom, we ain't having that. We ain't having a war, and we ain't having that. That's how you would also go into the fact that if those so-called Jewish people were in the land right now, and since they were in 1948, the 1948 up until this point should have never been war or any thus situation, and the culture, so-called culture, and what they teach and what they're offering should be exalted all over the world, and all nations should be coming to Jerusalem, to Israel, to be pumping with their teaching. That's not happening. That's how you know they're not the real Jews at all. And there's still war on the scene. So it's impossible for them to be the people of the Bible. That's a clear cut in this particular situation. For all people will walk everyone in the name of his God, and will speak in the name of Yahawah forever and ever. See, that's just what I'm saying. See, Micah 4 go hard with that one. Let me go to, I guess this video is going to be pretty much short, but I'm getting to the point. These videos us brothers put up are to the point and edify the sheep, the so-called Negroes, Latino, the Indians, what we supposed to be doing. And predominantly on the highways and hedges, where you will see a lot of his brothers on Saturdays and sometimes on other days. Let me go to Isaiah, the 2nd chapter, which actually speaks pretty much identical on what what I was just going into. So the word that Isaiah, the son of Amos, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem, which is, okay, this will be before, and that'll be a future prophecy, which is still a future prophecy, but it's basically going into it. And it says, and it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of Yahawashi's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all the nations shall flow unto it. There we go again. And many people shall go and say, come ye, let us go up to the mountain of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, to the house of God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and he will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the words of the Lord Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi from Jerusalem. And like I said, and he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and shall beat their swords and their plowshares and spears into the pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against any nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. O house of Jacob, come ye, let us walk in the light of the Lord Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. So, So basically, like I went into in with Micah, you know what I mean. The other nation is going to have to come unto us and learn the ways of Yahawah, Yahawashi. And I read in Isaiah the 60th chapter for the reason why they want to do that. If they don't want to do that, then it says in the 12th verse of 60 of Isaiah, for the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted. So that's the reason why they're so, willing to go do that in those days, because if they don't, it's either get down or lay down. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that pretty much is. And we waiting for this, man. We can't wait to really get back the Gentiles, or the real Gentiles, the ones who are really, really bloodlinely not Israelite. If you're a other nation, you are a Gentile, like referring to the Old Testament. But we still gonna call you a Gentile regardless if you talking to new or old, because when you speaking of them, they're still a Gentile regardless. Our people are Gentiles too when they're actually going into the customs of Gentiles and different things of that nature, and dwelling amongst them and repping their styles and their businesses and their systems and their things of that nature. You will be a Gentile as well. But we're talking about the real Gentiles, the ones who are not bloodline Israelites. What's this? Psalms 110 and 2, which I think 3 is the one, the spiritual power one. Psalms 110 and 2. I believe 3 is thy people shall be willing, they con. So but the point was Psalms 110 and 2. The Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi shall send the rod of thy strength out of Zion, and roll thou in the midst of thy enemies. And that's exactly the script I really wanted to bring out, because I'm correlating that. Judge among the heathen, he shall fill the places with dead bodies, and shall wound heads over many countries. Right. So, but my point was the second verse: Yahawah Yahawashi shall send the rod of thy strength out of Zion, and rule thou in the midst of thy enemies. That's what's going to happen in the kingdom. When Esau's rule comes down. The wicked comes down, we're going to get a rod of strength, and we're going to be able to rule in the midst of thy enemies, and they're going to have to be subjected unto us and do what we say, or else. If they don't want to worship the Lord Yahawah Bahasham along with the men, 144,000, and what we got to offer in the law, statute, commandments, that nation, shall be utterly wasted. It's either get down or lay down. Just like we're doing the same. If we don't follow the laws in this kingdom, we going to jail for life, death penalty, shot by the cops. Go ahead and get pulled over for a tail light, and you get out your car and run. So what they wanted you to do was get your license and registration, which is wise. But I'm just saying, if you didn't want to do what they say and felt like your life was in danger, hypothetically, and you flat out did not do what Esau wanted you to do, and you got out your car and ran, maybe you getting shot in the back, brother. Predominantly pursuing to the nation, the so-called Negroes, Latino, Native Indians. If you run, you getting shot. If you don't get down, you gonna lay down, and that's the curses that we under on this side. That's gonna happen if we don't get down or lay down to Esau, because their sword is their weapons, is their sword, and they live by their sword, and they rule by their sword. So if you don't get down in their kingdom, you will be perished by their sword. But it's okay though, because we're gonna get our little situations, and we're gonna be able to rule with our sword via physical, and also with the law, statute, commandments of Yahawah, Yahawashi, because it's gonna be written in our inward parts. That's the reason why we're gonna have the kingdom forever. So it'll never be given up, because we're gonna be programmed like a download robot or something. And shoot, I want that. It's kind of a crazy way to saying it, but we're gonna be like a downloaded robot. When it comes to a computer can't do what only whatever you press would do. And so now an Israelite in that day is going to have the law, statute, commandments downloaded, and we ain't going to do nothing that's going outside of law, statute, commandments, because like a robot or a computer, we can only do what the law, statute, commandments will allow us to do. And you heathens, they're going to be subjected to us subject unto us, and they're going to minister unto us as well. And they're going to know the law, statute, commandments, and will be forced to do so in righteousness. Call law Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, qadash. Yahawah, he is to be, exists. Bahasham in the name, and only begotten Son and Lord and Savior. Yahawashi, Bahasham in the name, and the Holy Spirit, the qadash. Double honors, apostles, elders, learners true from GMS, and blessings to the Aki, my dear, preaching his word with whole heart, true sincerity, and blessings to the 144,000 and 1/3, the first fruits, kingdom of heaven, house of David, the Biyaf Dawadah, and shalom to you brothers, that's Israelites, that are speaking in different tongues and looking in different nations. Shalom, brothers.